Hello students, welcome back with the same chapter, that is crop production and management, and this is your last topic, improvement in food resources. So might be one question come in your mind, that what is the need for improvement in food resources, why we are going to read this topic. So first we should clear about that. As you know that nowadays the population that is growing at a very fast speed, and land is not increasing in comparison to that, so that means land is limited, finite resources. So there is need to improve the production by adopting the different techniques and methods, so that we can be fulfill the demands of each and everyone. So that's why there is the need for the improvement in food resources, and apart from this various other topics are there. So let's see. First is to improve the quality and nutritional value of food, to increase yield of crops. Right now I told you, to make the food products and crops free from diseases and pests, that means high yielding varieties of the seed, to reduce the cost of food products and increase their availability, meet needs of the growing population, less scope of increasing the area of land under cultivation. If we use the high yielding varieties of seed, it will be give the more production with small area of land. So next is improvement in crop yields. So under this topic mainly we have to discuss about the three things: crop variety improvement, crop production improvement, and crop protection management. So why is crop variety improvement done? So here are some topics. For the better yield, that means production will be better, improve the quality, crops which are, that means going to produce, that should be of better quality, free from diseases, pests. Also enhance the biotic and abiotic resistance. Biotic causes, that means the various the microorganisms, insects. Earlier we have read about that. That is the protection regarding this insects and pests, that is very important, otherwise they may damage the crops. And abiotic causes, that means drought, salinity, that means other abiotic factors which is related to the environment. Less maturity duration, so that crops will be matured in the lesser time, and farmer will get enough time to regain the fertility of the soil to grow more crops, and wider adaptability, so that the seeds or crops should be adapt in every environment, that means in large area. Need of different agriculture revolution. Actually the need was felt to encourage the farmers to increase this production and offer a greater portion of their products for sale in the market. Actually the old practices which are done by the farmer, that is not enough to fulfill the demands of each and everyone. So that means new methods have to be involved in that. The new methods in agriculture increase the yield of rice and wheat, which reduce the food imports. Then production will be that means less. Then what will be happen? We have to import the food items from other part or other countries. So and if production will be increased, so we have to reduce the food imports. Next is green revolution, most important topic. It refers to sudden, and so one question come in your mind, that what is green revolution, who has started the green revolution in our country. So it mainly refers to the sudden and spectacular increase in agriculture productivity due to the use of high yielding variety of seeds. High yielding variety of seeds, that means which is the seeds which are healthy and free from diseases. The production or yield will be more. That seeds are called high yielding varieties, and later on we will discuss about that, how they come by the process of hybridization. Next is in this that means it includes various types of methods: high yielding variety of seeds, the use of the chemical substances like fertilizers, pesticides, modern irrigation methods, etc. And as you know that in India, who started this green revolution? Around 1960 or 61, a scientist named M.S. Swaminathan, he has started the green revolution in India. And there are other revolution also, which is related to the different food products. So one by one we will discuss about that. White revolution. White revolution, that is mainly related to the increase in the production of milk. Yellow revolution, it is related to the increase in the production of the oil seeds. Blue revolution, it is related to the fisheries, that means to increase the production of the fish. Golden revolution, that is related to mainly pulses and other fruits and vegetables. Silver revolution, that is mainly related to the production of eggs. Pink revolution, that is related to the meat production. And grey revolution, that is related to the fertilizers. And apart from this, there are so many other revolution that is not related to the crop. Okay. So our next topic is crop production, improvement and management. That means what are the important things we have to keep in mind for this to improve the crop production and management. So 3 points are here. First is nutrient management, second is irrigation, and third is cropping pattern. So one by one we will discuss about that. First is nutrient management. All of you know that nutrient, that is a very important substance. That means not only for the living things, that means human beings, but it is required for everyone, plants also. And plants, that means nutrient, the substance which nourish the body, either they are plants or other organisms. Plants require 16 essential nutrients for their proper growth and development, which is mainly categorized in two groups: macronutrients, which is required in large amount, and micronutrients, which is required in less amounts. So what will be happen if we grow the same types of crops repeatedly in any field? So there will be the shortage of the certain nutrients in the soil. So in that case, farmers have to add manures and fertilizers to manage the nutrients in the soil, or you can say to replenish the nutrients in the soil. Same in the case of human beings also. If we are not taking the proper diet or any proper minerals or nutrients, suppose the iron, if there will be deficiency of the iron in our body, then in that case we have to take the supplements. Okay. Next is, why is nutrient management needed? So there are some points. Deficiency of nutrients can will be in reduced growth. If there will be deficiency of the nutrients in the soil, then what will be happen? It affect the growth of the crops or plants. It has the adverse effect on the reproduction, and that means the plants will be, or crops will be, more prone to the various diseases also, like us. If we are not taking the proper diet, balanced nutrient, then we may get infected from the various diseases. Next point is irrigation. Earlier we have discussed about that what is irrigation? The process of supplying water to the crop plants in the field at regular interval of time, that is called irrigation. The high yielding variety of seeds require more water. To fulfill this demand, farmers has to use modern irrigation methods like drip irrigation system, sprinkler system, and we have discussed about that these modern methods of irrigation, they prevent the wastage of water and also useful in uneven land or where there is less availability of water. So our next topic is cropping pattern. In this topic, mainly we have to discuss about the 3 points: mixed cropping, intercropping, and crop rotation, one by one. First is mixed cropping. What is mixed cropping? Mixed cropping, that is a system of sowing 2 or more crops simultaneously, that means together, on the same piece of land. Example, wheat or mustard, groundnut and sunflower, etc. And what is the advantage? It reduces the risk and gives some insurance against the failure of one of the crops. So might be if one crop will be failed, then other will be give the yield. Next is intercropping. Growing 2 or more crops simultaneously on the same field in a definite pattern. Actually, one basic difference that is between the mixed cropping and intercropping. In mixed cropping, crops are not grown in any definite pattern. But in intercropping, that means they are growing the definite pattern. Suppose 2 crops are growing, then might be in one row the one crops will be there, and in the second row second crops will be there. Next is crop rotation. Rotation, that means rotate. So what is crop rotation? Crop rotation is the practice of growing a series of different or dissimilar types of crops, mainly one leguminous and other is non-leguminous plants, in the same area in alternate manner, mainly based on the season. Here you can see this. If potato or tomato are growing in one season, then in next season peas, that is a leguminous plant, that will be grow again in the next season the other vegetables, and further in the next season gram. So in this way what will be happen, it will regain the nutrients in the soil. As you know that in the root nodules of the leguminous crops, Rhizobium bacteria is present, which fix the atmospheric nitrogen to the plants, available to the plants in the soluble form. Crop protection management. Sometimes after providing all the nutrients and water supply, crops may get infected because of the various types of the pests like insects, rodents. These pests may damage the crops and decrease the production. So it is a big challenge for the farmers to protect their crops by spraying the different types of the chemicals like pesticides, fungicides, weedicides, so that they can protect their crops. Some common techniques which is used to incorporate desirable characteristics into crop varieties. First is hybridization. So what is hybridization? The process that involves crossbreeding of the two different varieties of the desirable quality seeds to obtain seed which contain the qualities of both parent plant. So that means for this two parent plants are taken, and both having the desired quality, and when we crossbreed them, then the resultant plants would be or seeds would be of, that means which contains the quality of both parent. So this is called hybridization. The hybrid seeds provide better crop yield, and they are also disease resistant. That means they are not prone to any diseases. Next is genetically modified crop. In this, introducing a gene that would provide the desired characteristics. Okay, so that's all for this chapter. Okay, your chapter is over. If you have any doubt and any query, okay, you may ask in my online classes. Thank you, students.